Hi, Morgan here for Onefinity, and today we're talking about work holding. I know, boring, but super important, so bear with me. As I mentioned in our last video, one of the best things about Onefinity machines is their flexibility in terms of where and how you can put them together. Because they're not confined to a factory bed, you can mount them to a wall or a workbench or whatever flat surface you already have. I finished assembling my Journeyman and it lives on this rolling cart under my outfeed. You might be wondering how I'm supposed to access the machine down there, swap out material, change out bits, but way ahead of you. Neat, huh? Now that it's assembled, the first thing I want to do is figure out how I'm going to hold my material in place while I'm making cuts. I have my machine on the quick change wasteboard that Onefinity makes specifically for this model, which incorporates T-track. But as I mentioned, this is an upgrade and you might have your machine just mounted on a plain old workbench without a work holding system built in. In that case, you'd want to build your own wasteboard and secure your material with that. Now there's tons of different ways to do this, but here are the most common methods. First up is T-track. Sure, you can buy your own T-track and install it in your wasteboard, but that stuff can get pretty pricey. The more T-track you add, the more versatility you get, yeah, but the more expensive it gets too, and the longer it takes to install. Next is double-sided tape. I see this a lot, and if this system works for you, by all means, you do you. I guess it's a matter of preference. Personally, I worry that the tape might not be strong enough and give out in the middle of a cut. Or you get super strong tape that won't budge, but then it's annoying to peel off of your part, peel off the wasteboard. Sometimes it can leave residue or damage the part. I don't know, it's just not for me. Next up is screws. I mean, this is basically just screwing your workpiece down to your wasteboard. I mean, I guess that works if you don't mind putting a bunch of holes in your wasteboard and your material. Then there's vacuum systems. These are really nice, but I mean, they're pretty expensive. So the nice thing about vacuum systems is that there's no physical hold down on top of the material. So you can cut all the way to the edge of your workpiece without having to run into anything. But the danger there is that if you set your cutting depth too low, you run the risk of running over one of those vacuum pods. And if you do that, it's pretty much wrecked. Lastly, we got my personal favorite, work holding wasteboards. This is a wasteboard that has a work holding system built into it. Our buddy Ben over at Myers Woodshop designed a killer wasteboard that's pretty much become the gold standard for hobby CNCs. His design uses a grid of T-nuts, which are used to lock down cam clamps pretty much anywhere on the surface of the wasteboard. Whatever the size or shape of your workpiece, Ben's wasteboard and clamp system will do the job. Now, as some of you may know, I was previously working for another woodworking tool brand whose work holding system I just fell absolutely head over heels in love with. I'm talking about Microjig's match fit system. So I designed a wasteboard that utilizes Microjig's dovetail hardware with a handful of simple work holding jigs, both of which are cut entirely by the machine. Of course, everyone's needs are different and there's really no one size fits all solution. I'm just here to give you some options, let you decide for yourself. If you're interested in learning more about the work holding wasteboards that I mentioned, I'll include some links in the description to get you started. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell that's somewhere down here below the screen. You don't want to miss any of this. I mean, it's just outstanding content. All right, that's it for me. I'm gonna get started on my wasteboard and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Y'all be good.